1,300 rioters on his first day in office. His own Vice President, J.D. Vance, his own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said he wouldn't do it. He did it. He pardoned 300 people who attacked police officers. Can Carla defend that, or does she want to move on from that? How do you defend pardoning 300 people who assaulted police officers, more than 100?
Right there. That is the moment the air left the room. Mehdi Hassan demanding answers. Carla Sands simply could not give. How do you defend pardoning those who assaulted police officers? Let us rewind and see how we got here.
Yeah, I don't know what the golden age of America looks like, but it surely doesn't look like a 101st day in which we have a negative quarter of growth for the first time since the start of 2022. Let's not forget, at the end of 2024, Donald Trump inherited an economy where the final quarter of growth was 2.4% annualized. Today, we discover the first quarter of 2025 is minus 0.3%.
Carla tried to paint a golden picture of Trump's economy. Mehdi instantly shattered it, citing official numbers. Negative 0.3% growth in the very first quarter of 2025.
A majority of Americans, including 51% of Republicans, say they believe Donald Trump's policies could cause a recession this year. So not sure people voted for a recession or for more inflation from tariffs or for the decimation of their 401ks, the worst stock market 100-day performance since Richard Nixon. He has kind of taken an economy which that left-wing rag, The Economist magazine, called the envy of the world.
And then the hammer blow. Even Republicans fear recession. The stock market's worst first 100 days since Nixon. Carla looked stunned, her narrative collapsing.
Carla, you can't argue with the numbers, GDP figures today.
Well, I can. Actually, I can argue with the numbers. So he inherited Joe Biden's numbers. It was an inflated economy from pumping taxpayer money. This was government spending.
It is the oldest trick in politics. Blame the last guy. But Mehdi would not let her get away with it. He reminded everyone, Trump himself ballooned the debt during his first term.
Inflated economy from pumping taxpayer money. This was government spending propping up the U.S. economy and creating unsustainable debt. The trillions of dollars of debt President Trump has promised to bring us a
Donald
balanced
Trump added
budget.
more to the debt in his first term than Joe Biden did in his term.
Carla's defense cracked. This was no longer about spin. Mehdi forced her into a fight with facts.
But in terms of, it's funny to talk about brainwashing when the entire MAGA message is Donald Trump and Fox brainwashing people into believing insane things like the last election was stolen. Last night on American television, on ABC News, Donald Trump tried to claim that a photoshopped image of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man from Maryland, the El Salvadoran who had caught in the U.S., said could not be sent back to El Salvador. But he defied the court, the Trump administration, sent him illegally back to a torture camp in El Salvador.
She tried flipping the script. Blame the media. But Mehdi was ready. And then came the bombshell.
And Donald Trump went on live TV and 7 times, Adam, 7 times, he said that MS-13 was written on his knuckles, because this was the digitally photoshopped image that Trump was given by his aides and that they put out to right-wing media. It's a photoshopped image. Trump 7 times claimed to the audience that those numbers were really there on his hands. That is the level of delusion.
Trump repeated a photoshopped image 7 times. Mehdi labeled it for what it was. Delusion, gaslighting, dishonesty. The debate shifted in that moment.
1,300 rioters on his first day in office. His own Vice President, J.D. Vance, his own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said he wouldn't do it. He did it. He pardoned 300 people who attacked police officers. Can Carla defend that, or does she want to move on from that? How do you defend pardoning 300 people who assaulted police officers, more than 100?
300 people, many of them who attacked officers, simply walked free. Carla had no defense. Instead, she dodged
police officers. He pardoned them. How are you okay with that?
We're talking about the noise and not what actually matters.
Okay.
The fact that this
Salvadoran,
this El Salvadoran citizen had already had a removal order. He had had his day in court. He had had his hearings.
Notice the pivot. When leaders cannot defend the indefensible, they run. But in debates, that silence says more than any words.
Adam, I'm glad you asked that question. Trump said multiple times he would solve the war in 24 hours before he entered office. We're now 240 hours in. We're 100 days into this thing. And 2,400, sorry, I can't even do maths.
Yeah.
2,400 hours later, and he hasn't done it, right? Because he lies.
Mehdi, you have me questioning your mental.
The final strike. Trump promised Ukraine would be solved in 24 hours. It has been over 2,400 hours. The war continues. Mehdi sealed the debate with that undeniable truth. Fact check 1. U.S. Treasury data confirms Trump's first term added more to national debt than Biden. Fact check 2. The Bureau of Economic Analysis verifies GDP shrank 0.3% in Q1 2025. This debate left us with 3 clear lessons. Flashy claims collapse under real numbers. Credibility matters. When leaders push fake images and pardon violent rioters, it destroys trust. And silence is an answer. Carla's failure to respond was the loudest statement of all. If you found this breakdown sharp, share it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which moment stunned you the most? And subscribe for more fearless debate analysis where spin dies and facts speak loud.